I've just watched The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, Episode 11, y'all, and I gotta tell you, it was not what I expected. There were a lot of details that we should have gotten, but turns out they wanted to skip those parts. Thankfully, I have some good news about the show. It's getting another season, and I'm going to tell you all about it. I want to start with Conrad and Belly, as always. My man went all the way to see the love of his life, and he was all so romantic and sweet. He was Prince Charming, for God's sake. But Belly, she was not the Belly we knew at all. Okay, I get the idea of her changing, but it was like they've turned her to a completely different person. She had this mysterious vibe, for God knows why, and she acts like she's not able to communicate. She was acting like Marianne from Normal People. Conrad should have left the minute he saw her. They had this amazing day in which Belly acted like she can't stand Conrad, and I hate to see that it's always him that has to try and win her back. All he did was open up to her this season, and what, Belly doesn't even have to try? That is definitely not fair. As if that wasn't enough, she treated him like shit after they had sex, like she has the tiniest right to do that. If I were Conrad, I would never speak to her ever again. That was cruel and rude and heartless. She was just disgusting. And for what? To run after him 3 seconds later? If you knew you loved him, why did you do such a thing? Why pay all the money to taxis when you could have just told him you loved him too and spent the night in bed? God, woman, it's always bad decisions with you, and you never seem to learn from your mistakes. Okay, it's obvious that I'm mad at Belly, but as I said before, I'm also mad that they've skipped all the details. Like how and why she broke up with Benito. We know that she bailed on him, like she does with everyone, when he asked her to meet with his grandma, but that was on episode 10 when she was moving to her new house. Like what happened? She got the house, made him help move everything, and dumped him right after? I get that he's upset and everything, but why is he bitching all the time? Like, if you're that upset and in love with her, then why come to her birthday? And giving her a picture of her in bed as a gift, I thought about it for a long time, but can't seem to find a good thing to say. Anyways, there's also the Jeremiah storyline that I have a lot of questions about. Last episode, he was just working at a restaurant mopping the floors, and 6 months later, he's a chef. Apparently, script writers had never worked in any kitchen or have never seen The Bear. Believe me, it would have worked either way. And I'm not even going to talk about him and Denise. We can all just agree that it's stupid and move on. Also, I'm not that happy about the ending either, but luckily there may be another season. We all thought that since there were 3 books, it'd be 3 seasons, and they kept telling us that it was the final season. But whenever they've asked Jenny Han if she likes to continue The Summer I Turned Pretty journey, she always said that she loves working with the cast and making this show was amazing and that she's open to do it. So she never said, no, it's the final season, or no, we won't be doing it. Also, in the post-credit scenes, there was a letter from her to her fans, and she said, maybe we'll meet again one summer in Cousins. So she's pointing out that it may not be over, and I'm down for it. I also have one more thing to share, guys. From what we know, Jenny gathered a lot of influencers and the cast in Paris for the finale, but all I could think about is what would you do that for the final episode? You know, spending all that money for them to stay in Paris and everything. So what I'm telling you is there might be an announcement any minute. I'm constantly checking Instagram, and you'll be the first ones I'll talk to if I find something out. Until then, let's talk about the possible season 4. We know that Steven and Denise had to move to California, and Taylor decided to go with Steven too. So the 3 of them will be living there, but we all know that they'll be back for the summer, you know, in Cousins. The question I have is if Jeremiah will go with them or not. Since him and Denise are a thing now, and she has to move there in a month, I think he might consider moving with her. We know Jeremiah, if Denise asks him to come with her, he would go. But I'm still not sure if they'll have a real thing or not. And that girl was smart, you know? How did she end up with a guy who was going to marry less than a year ago and still can't even go to the house because of the memories he had with the girl he was going to marry? Denise deserved better, period. And for my favorite couple, aka Taylor and Steven, I told you they would be happy together. They'll be living together in California, living their best life and be back in Cousins together. I think that the new season won't be picking up from where we left. I think the new season will start with a time jump 5 years from now, when they all have jobs and stuff. I know for a fact that Denise and Steven will be so successful, they might have a bigger company than Adam has. So that's why I'm thinking maybe we can see a wedding, but this time it'll be Steven and Taylor's. You can't believe how much I'd like to see that, and I just hope that Belly can be at least as good a maid of honor as Taylor was. Lastly, Conrad and Belly will be happy like they've never been before. They'll be living together, and Belly's dreams will come true. I know that it's kind of late now, but they'll come true. I don't know if it would work, but I hope they'll live in the Cousins' house. Like if that were to happen, Belly might die of happiness. I'm still not sure if she deserves that, but we'll see. Also, you might expect a surprise. Since Conrad and Belly will be together from now on, we're going to watch them build a life together. So I think there might be a baby on the way. They'll announce that they're pregnant when all of them get together. And I can't even imagine how sweet it'll be. Luckily, we might not wait that long to see that. As I said, you can expect an announcement from Jenny Han any minute now. And if that happens, the filming can start in July since it has to be summer. And that means we can get the new season in July 2027 since all the seasons were released in July. If everything goes as planned, we can get the trailer by April 2027. In the meantime, check the video on the screen and don't forget to follow for more The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 4 updates.